Welcome, my name is Logan McKnight and I'm the Internship and Licensure Coordinator for the Watson College of Education. I will be working with you all throughout your internship semester and through the process of applying for your North Carolina teaching license. Today we're going to go over the information for the initial application process for internship. You will see attached to the email that you have received the agenda, which is a white packet with some information in that, as well as the golden sheet that is the actual initial application you'll be completing. The first thing I want to share with you today is about international experiences. So if that's something you're interested in, we have 2 international experiences for the fall semester. We have a Belize internship experience and a Kuwait internship experience. Both of these will have information sessions. If you're interested, you'll see attached a flyer as well that will have information about when those sessions will be, the length of the trip, the costs, and those sorts of things. The next piece I want to share about is the Hattie Strong Foundation Scholarship Awards. The Hattie Strong Foundation is an organization that we've worked with for the past several years. They offer about 2 to 4 scholarships per academic year for our internship candidates. So it is a student in their final semester, final year of their education program that demonstrates, a financial need. You do have to have financial aid, FAFSA, on file. And as long as you have that on file, then you're eligible to complete the application. You'll receive a follow-up email after you have viewed this in the next day or so. And in that email, there will be a link for accessing the Hattie Strong Foundation Scholarship application. You'll notice on your agenda that is in the email that you may have printed that application is going to be due on Monday, February 27th. So you'll just go through that process, and then depending on the funding and those sorts of pieces, they'll announce how many scholarships and who those recipients will be closer to the start of your internship semester. One thing we want to share with you all is about the partnership that we have. So we do have a professional development system that partners with several surrounding counties. I believe it's about 14 counties, about 147 schools and 2 charter schools. And so what happens is we have a partnership with these schools where the schools that we're working with get professional development, support from the university in a variety of ways, and then they're also trained to be partnership teachers, and they agree to completing that training, working through training modules, and hosting our students for field experience and internship. So the counties that we work with in those systems will be the ones that you'll be placed in for your internship as an extension student. You would be in one of those counties outside of New Hanover, which is the most local county to UNCW. So unless you're out of area, then you would be working in that PDS system for your internship semester. The first thing we will actually have you fill out for your application process, it's the initial application. This is the first bit of information we'll get from you to collect and make sure we get you in our system to get you going on all the processes required for the placement process for your internship. So that is the yellow sheet that you received in the email. Well, it may not be yellow in your email, but it's called the initial application form for teacher internships. So if you'll fill out that basic information, if you are degree seeking, then that means you're going to be awarded a degree at the end of your program, and you will circle that option. If you have already obtained a degree, you have a bachelor's degree in another area, and you're getting the teacher licensure, that would be the only instance that you would circle licensure only. And we just like to know that so that we can know which path you're on and what types of accommodations we might need to make for you for the internship. You'll let us know that you are an extension student by circling that on the form. The semester you're applying for your internship will be fall 17. Then you'll go down and circle your licensure area. We have them all listed in a table. And then you'll read that verification of eligibility section. And this section is just saying that you recognize and are aware that you have to be admitted to Watson to intern, you have to have a GPA of a 2.7 or higher, and you have to have made a C or better in all of your education courses. And then if you'll sign and date that form and then scan and send it back to us, we'll have that on record as your initial application. Following the initial application process is the online application process. So if you'll note on your agenda that the online application is going to be due on Monday, February 6th. It's open right now, so you can access it right after you watch this video. The online application can be accessed in your My Seaport account, just like you would access the application for your field experience. Excuse me. There are a couple of things I want to point out about the application. One, there's a background self-disclosure portion, and this is the portion where you would disclose any violations that you might have gotten on campus, or as well as any charges that you may have with the court system. I point that out because it's important that you are honest and self-disclose on that, because you will also be required to complete a formal background check, which we will make sure, you know, the two line up and are accurate. If you do have a charge or a violation at UNCW, you're required within 10 days of completing the online application to submit paperwork for that. So for a UNCW violation, it is a decision of hearing document, which you can request from the Dean of Students office, as well as a letter of explanation. If it is a formal charge, a conviction of guilty or something of that nature, you would submit the official court records as well as a letter of explanation to go along with that. And just the application will say that, but keep in mind that it is within 10 days of completing your application that we need to have those documents on file. Also, there's a little note about extenuating circumstances. So if there's anything additional that you aren't able to tell us on that online application that you really want us to know about, you know, your internship semester or your specific circumstances. You know, we've had interns that have a child with a medical issue and really need to be in close proximity. Those sorts of things would be extenuating circumstances, and you can let us know about that again within 10 days by emailing Miss Cindy Wiseman at wisemanc@uncw.edu. Along with that, for online application process, you will also complete a formal background check. In the follow-up email, you'll receive, like I said, information about that Hattie Strong Scholarship application, a follow-up of all the information we cover, and the background check will be one of those things. That email will inform you that you will be receiving another email from Student Edition, which is the certified background check process that we use here at Watson. Everyone has to do a formal background check for their internship semester. And the one thing that we ask that you do is to create a new username and password for this account going into this background check. The reason is Certify won't recognize that you're requesting the most up-to-date information. So if you were to use your old username and password, it will allow you to go through the process, pay for another background check, but only pull the old information. So be sure to use a new username and password for this, specifically for your internship, and that way we'll get your most current records on file. This is another piece that, looking back to your agenda, will be due on Monday, February 27th. So make sure that you go ahead when you get that email notification that you get your formal background check completed. And this is crucial to being eligible for an internship placement for the fall semester. The next steps of your application process will be a pre-eligibility check, which we do here in our office. We check degree audits and make sure that our students are on track to graduate, have the appropriate courses to be able to intern or admitted to Watson, those sorts of things. If there are any issues, we'll contact your advisor and talk with you as well. And we'll make sure that everyone's on the same page and that you are ready to go for the internship semester. If you have any questions about your eligibility, we recommend that you contact your advisor and just check to make sure that everything is in line for you to be ready for that fall 17 internship. Also, graduation application is another piece that is on your agenda for things that you need to take care of. Apply for your fall 2017 graduation. It seems a little early to do that, but you can go ahead and actually do that today on the registrar's website. And we recommend that you take care of that as soon as possible. If you don't apply to graduate, the registrar's office won't let you graduate. And so what that means is, although you'd be able to walk with your class, you wouldn't be able to receive your degree posted transcript, which would hold up your licensure process. You wouldn't receive your diploma. And you would also end up having to be enrolled for an additional semester in a course that is not worth any credit, but you do have to pay about $300 for. So just to avoid all that, if you will make sure to go ahead and apply for your graduation and get that out of the way and taken care of. If you will turn to the second page that you received your health examination certificate, this is the health form that is used for all North Carolina public school employees. So it's a standard form that we use for interns that are going to be working in any of our partnership counties. You'll complete the top portion of the form just with your name, student ID, and your current address, and then can skip over that second paragraph. That is more for an actual employee where you all are working as interns. I'm going to point out some really important pieces about the health form that I want you to remember. You'll notice on the agenda that it states that the form is due Monday, July 31st, and we have to have the original form in our office. So we can't accept a copy, a scan, a photo. It has to be the original form with the original physician's signatures. A TB skin test is required for the health exam. So that's something that you can get done at the Student Health Center, at typically any physician's office will be able to do that. You may want to call in advance because sometimes they don't have those TB tests just on hand. So that may be something you want to check if you are out of area and not come into the UNCW Student Health Center. But when you have the TB test done, keep in mind that you have to go back in 3 days to have that test read. So they'll do it on your forearm, and then you'll have to go back and they'll look at it and then make the notes on the form. Be sure you give yourself not only enough time before so that you get it in on time, but also that you're going to be able to get back to the physician's office in that time frame and not have to redo the test again. Looking at the other health areas section of the form, you'll see that this lists the different health areas and then whether or not you have limitations. Now, oftentimes, in the busyness of the day, doctors will look and say that, everything looks good and check yes for all of those options. The problem with this is that they're stating that you have all of these limitations. Now, it's not an issue to have the limitation, but the nature of the limitation does have to be noted. So you need to make sure that they're checking the appropriate box. If you don't have a vision limitation, you wouldn't want that listed as yes on your form. So make sure you look at that before you leave the doctor's office, so that way you don't have to then come get your form from me and take it back to the doctor's office, since it does have to be the original. That can just be an issue that you could avoid if you just double check that quickly before you leave your doctor's office. The next section, appropriate immunizations, you have everything that we require of you for the internship by being admitted as a student to UNCW. If your doctor does recommend that you have additional immunizations, so if they decide, hey, you haven't had a tetanus shot, or you haven't had the Hep B series, whatever it is that they recommend on the form, you have to have attached the record that you have taken care of that. So just keep that in mind, that if there is a recommendation, you have to have that vaccine done and then attach the record along with it. The school systems require that record. And then finally, you'll see 5 blanks at the bottom to be filled in. Just be sure that all 5 of those blanks are filled in, including the signature, license number, state granting license. This is information that a doctor's office likely will not give us over the phone, and so it would be another one of those circumstances where you'd have to pick up your form, take it back, and bring it back again. So just be sure that all of those boxes are filled in. Okay, moving on from the health form, also just a reminder that's going to be due on Monday, July 31st, so you do have plenty of time, but you can turn that in any time from here up until that point. We're going to be hand delivering those to the school systems on August 1st, so you definitely need to have it in by the 31st so that we can get those out to the schools and ready to go for your internship semester. The next time that we would see you, we have a mandatory meeting. The internship orientation meeting is going to be Thursday, April 27th, and that's from 9 to 10 a.m. in EB 162. The thing to remember for that meeting, bring something to write with, something to take notes. You'll get, we'll provide some materials for you. And then also, you'll see that we've noted that professional attire is expected. So from here on out, at any of the internship meetings that you attend, just be sure that you're dressed professionally, so as if you were going to go teach in the classroom. So if you will now look at the attachment called Partnership Teacher Letter, if you're an early childhood, elementary, middle grades, or special education intern, you're required to complete a Partnership Teacher Letter. The attachment in the email is a set of guidelines for how to write that letter. Your goal in writing this letter is to represent yourself as an educator. So, you want to impress upon the reader your professionalism, your knowledge, your skills, and the things that you believe about education. So this is going to be kind of your first impression that you make to the school systems, and it's a really neat way to get matched up with a partnership teacher that really fits with your goals or the things that you want to learn and things that may be strengths of theirs. So looking at the guidelines, you'll see you're just going to do a basic Word document, no borders or pictures or anything like that, just plain Word document. And you can call it your last name, comma, your first name, /PT letter, and that way we can file those accordingly. You're going to put your name and address at the top and a date. It's written like a formal letter, and you'll begin with Dear Partnership Teacher. In the first paragraph, you'll start with a brief introduction that doesn't include hello, my name is. So if you'll, just start with anything else, some interns like to start with a quote or talking about their excitement for the internship semester. They're going to find out who you are when they look at your name at the bottom of the letter and through reading it, so you don't have to say hello, my name is. Once you've done your brief introduction, you're going to go into your statement of teaching philosophy. And this is basically like a 1 to 2 sentence statement just explaining what it is you believe about the profession. So what do you believe about yourself as an educator, about your students as learners, about the classroom as a learning environment. Really sit down and think about, over the course of my program, what are the beliefs that I've developed and the things that I really feel to be true about best practice in education. And go ahead and put that in a brief statement. Then in your second paragraph, you're going to kind of build off of that statement by then talking about your teaching style. And typically we do have interns, that are beginning that say, I don't have a teaching style because I haven't had my own classroom. But think about, based on that statement of teaching philosophy, so the things that you believe, what would be the practices that you would want to put into place? What would be the things that you would consider to be your ideal teaching style? So, do you prefer all hands-on lessons, or do you prefer a mixture of whole class and small group? What are the things that you really are anticipating trying out in the classroom that fit in with your statement of teaching philosophy? After you've talked about your style, then we want you to go in and tell us about your strengths. So what are the things that you're already good at, the things that you're bringing to the classroom that you already feel confident about? So it may be that you are really good at building relationships with students, or maybe you're very organized. So think of some things that you already feel really strong and confident in that you believe will make you an asset to that teacher's classroom. Your final paragraph will discuss your relevant professional experiences. So this is going to be anything that you have experienced or been a part of that you feel has prepared you for the internship. So it could be anything from your field experiences and tutoring all the way to your maybe summer job opportunities, camps, different things you've been involved in. Anything that you feel has, given you leadership skills or other skills that would be beneficial to you when you're working in the classroom. And then finally, you'll take an opportunity to give a closing statement, just saying how excited you are for the internship semester, what you're looking forward to learning about, and thanking them for the opportunity and consideration of your letter to be a part of their classroom. Once you've finished your letter, followed those guidelines, you'll notice it's a 3-paragraph format, and if you follow that, you'll be good to go. Make sure it's 1 page. We do print all these letters, and the schools print them as well. We'll print them and take them to the meeting, so we do limit it to 1 page, and also that's why I mentioned just the plain Word document, no borders or pictures or font that someone can't read. We want you to check your spelling and grammar very carefully, so have a friend or two read it out loud several times. Go through with a fine-tooth comb and just make sure that it's exactly how you want it. You don't want your first impression to a partnership teacher or a principal to be that you don't understand proper grammar, or that you make a spelling mistake and that you're careless. So just be really careful about going through and checking that. We aren't unfortunately able to proofread the letters because we do get so many. We just file them away once we receive them in email. So make sure that you take care of proofing that letter. You're going to be sending these, you'll see on the guidelines at the very bottom, to Miss Jamie Ellis, and that is our graduate assistant in the Office of Professional Experiences. Her email is listed on that sheet, and it shows you the due date for that is Monday, February 27th by 8 a.m. So be sure you get that letter in on time, and save the letter as the same thing that you have saved the Word document, your last name, comma, first name, PT letter. Send that same subject line in the email so that she can quickly file it away and know that we have your letter ready to go. If you're working on your letter and have questions, or just need suggestions or a little bit of guidance, feel free to email me or Ms. Wiseman. We're happy to help. We know this is an important letter, and it's going to be what is used to place you for your internship semester, so we want you to really take it seriously and do your very best, and are happy to support you in that along the way. Finally, the next steps for you are going to be, if you'll look back at that first page that was your agenda, you'll see a few reminders. The first one being that you have to have an active TaskStream account through December 2017. So TaskStream is the place where we're going to house your evidence folio. You're going to be doing some coaching, just different pieces throughout your internship that you're going to be required to do will be done through TaskStream. I know you all have to pay for that subscription, so I'll probably begin checking, I'll be checking throughout, but really checking right before the semester starts, so in July, to be sure that everyone has that TaskStream account and is ready to go. That's going to go through December 2017. We always tell our interns that if you do all of these things that we have on our list on time, then we will place you on time. We'll do our best to get you placed in your top county preference, and make sure that you are fully satisfied with your internship placement. Placements are going to be received by April 24th, 2017. You will receive your placement via MySeaport, just like you would look for your field experience placement, except for it will say internship. So you will be able to look for that on April 24th. Although we're confident that you will be happy and satisfied with your internship placement, there is an appeal process. There may be any number of reasons that you don't feel like the placement is going to be the best fit for you, and it wouldn't be that you're not happy with the grade level or the distance or those sorts of things. It would be a serious reason to appeal, like I said, such as conflict of interest or something that we couldn't be aware of in our office. And so if that's the case, then the appeal process is that you will email a letter indicating that information to Miss Cindy Wiseman at wisemanc@uncw.edu, and you'll have to have that submitted by May 1st at 5 p.m. in order for that appeal to be considered. So we'll collect them all until that point, and then after May 1st, Miss Wiseman will begin, and our office will begin reviewing those appeals, and we'll let you know about decisions that are made. To finish, I just want to encourage you to check out our website. So uncw.edu/ed is how you get to Watson College, and then if you click on Field Experiences, it will take you to the Office of Professional Experiences webpage. And this page will have all of our contact information. It will also include information on field experiences, the internship semester, as well as licensure and testing requirements. So I highly encourage you to go and just kind of look through and see if there are any things that you have questions about. Feel free to contact